Here, Bill Soriano. I'm in the Forex Smart Money Trading Academy group here, going live here. And last night I told you we were going to start for the rest of the month here, just tracking all of the impulse scanner trades. Impulse scanner is the scanner we now have access to with our community. If you want to get started with it, we got 4 powerful bonuses for you to take advantage of, and one of them will allow you to save $100 actually, right? And so what we're going to do is I outlined this yesterday, how we're going to wait for the macro trend indicator to appear on the 15-minute chart. We're going to get into at the close of that candle or the open of the very next candle. Again, no need to wait for the pullback. I know in the training that the educators do, they tell you to wait for a pullback. What we're testing in here right now is for the rest of the month is that there is no need to wait for a pullback. We're going to use a volatility-based stop at the furthest edge of the Bollinger Band on the impulse scanner. And then we're going to go for a 1 to 2 risk to reward on all trades. Okay. So we're going to go through all of the pairs, all 28 pairs here. Okay. You can see here, this is odd CAD right here. And this is what we're doing, waiting for the macro trend indicator to appear, 15-minute time frame. Get in at the close of that candle or the open of the very next candle. No need to wait for a pullback. Use a volatility stop at the furthest edge of the Bollinger Band and go for 1 to 2 to determine if you win or lose the trade. Now, the only caveat to that is, as you're going to see here, is if you get another indicator come out going the other way, then you're going to have to exit your trade. So that's going to make things a little bit difficult for us to track. But we can still track total wins and losses, just not percentage gain. Okay, so here was that trade right here. You see now, here's the arrow. Okay, so as you guys know, as I told you last night, the macro trend indicator is right here. That's these 2 V-shaped images right here, and I've put an arrow right below them. So once this indicator paints, it does not repaint. But when a new indicator comes out, the old ones disappear from the chart. So you can only see one of these on every chart. So you could see here, that's why I've put the arrows here. Okay, and by putting the arrows here, and then I put the trade box there so we could see what the trade looks like, right? So this was the first place where the macro trend indicator gave us a signal right here, and this trade came up, but it didn't quite win, right? Again, we had to put the stop loss at the furthest edge of the Bollinger Band, right? You see these 2 gray shaded areas here. This is the Bollinger Band, and the volatility is determined in this white area here. Now they give you a kind of time-consuming way to set your stop loss. What we're doing is we're just putting our stop loss at the opposite edge of that Bollinger Band, the furthest away point, which is this area right here for the buy. This is our candle. So we're basing it on our candle where we get the indicator. Okay, and we're getting in at the close of that candle or the open of the next candle, right? And so you could see we don't quite get to our take profit there. Price comes back down, then we get an indicator going the other way. So when you get an indicator going the other way, you would have to exit the trade. And in this case, if you exit at the close of that candle, you do exit in profit. Okay, so that would have to be counted as a win. Okay, then we set up the next trade here. And then another indicator goes off. This usually doesn't happen, guys. Usually these indicators are spaced apart pretty far, but they're based on these moving averages lines here that determine the trend, right? And this is this blue line here that turns red, and then that's the primary trend, and this is your short-term trend here, your secondary trend, the other red and blue line here. So I go over this in the session when we explain how the indicator works. But that's how this indicator determines which way price is going. And so that's how it determines whether or not to set this macro trend indicator off. offer on, make it come on. So what happens is we would have to exit that trade at a loss, and then we would be in a trade right now in this pair. So let's get on because we got to go through all 28 pairs here. Okay, this is AUD-CAD. You can see right here we have an arrow because we got a new indicator right here. So this was from last night. This trade again does not quite win. We just miss our take profit there, right? It comes back down. We would have to exit at a loss because we get the new indicator. And then that new indicator gives us a winning trade. Okay, so right now we're at 2 wins and 2 losses. AUDJPY. See, there's not an indicator here for quite a while. We have to go all the way back to here, and we can see there's the indicator still there. There's the arrow I put underneath it so I know where it's at next time. And then there's a winning trade in AUDJPY. And then, of course, there's no current, the indicator hasn't gone off for a while, right? So this is all the way back on October 9th, right? A couple days ago. So it's been a couple days because price is trending above the primary trend line here. So as long as it stays above or below the primary trend line and it doesn't change direction, you're not going to get a macro trend indicator to go off. Okay. So since we're going through all 28 pairs again. So right here we have a few. We had a winning trade right here. Right. Then we had another trade right here that loses. And now we're in a current trade right now. Okay, so we're currently at 4 wins, 3 losses. And we're just going to keep track and add them all up. Okay, back here we have 1 winning trade, as you can see. Then we got a new indicator go off today here, and we're still in that trade. Okay, so we're going to have to, at the end of the session, when I'm done here, I'm going to have to go through the charts and figure out how to clean them up so that we don't keep counting the same trades over and over again, obviously, right? So any trades that have already been counted, I'm basically going to have to go in and remove the images so that we don't count them again, right? Tomorrow. Okay, right here, we could see there's the indicator. It's still there. That was the last indicator to go off. And that was a winning trade, right? Again, there's the indicator. We get in at the open of the next candle. We set our stop loss at the furthest Bollinger Band, right? The furthest gray area at that candle, at the time that candle paints, right? And then that's how we determine our 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio on the trade. So we're risking 13.5 pips to get 27, and we got the 27 pips. So that was a winning trade there. So I'm just going to get through these here kind of fast. This is CADJPY, right? And so here in CADJPY, we got the indicator back here. We took the trade, and then we get a second indicator. So that could give you a second chance to get in the trade, or but we're still waiting to win here, right? So this trade is still open. CHFJPY. Again, we don't have an indicator go off here. We don't have the indicator go off for a couple days. Back here, we had a winning trade. EA, there's another trade right there. Doesn't quite win yet, right? Almost hits our take profit, but not quite. Okay, here's a winning trade right here. In EURCAD, we're currently at 8 wins and 3 losses, right? There's another winning trade, right? That gives us 9 wins, 3 losses. I'm just going to kind of motor through here. So this trade here is still open, obviously, but back here, we had a winning trade. EJ, the indicator went off a couple days ago back here at 11:15, about 11 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on October 9th. That was Monday night, and that was a winning trade. EURNZD. It was a winning trade right here from October 10th, 9:30 in the morning. And then we're currently in a trade right now here that it looks like it's going to win as well. EURUSD. There's another winning trade there, as you could see. Price goes up right here and gets our take profit. Right here we have winning trade. So right here, we would have had to exit this trade right here. So that would have been a losing trade, this first one. And then we would have had a winning trade right after it. So we're 14 wins and 4 losses right now. As you could see, you can maybe just focus on certain pairs that you like, maybe the top 5, maybe the major Forex pairs. I don't know, because you're going to get a lot of trade opportunities with this strategy here. There's another winning trade. Okay. Right here, this trade here has not won yet. This 5, this is the candle at the start of the day. And on this scanner, for some reason, I put in a support ticket because it's not painting this 5 p.m. Eastern time candle correctly. I don't quite know why, but we're not going to count that as a winning trade yet unless price moves down here. Okay, so we did almost get stopped out on that one, but then we didn't. Okay, this one here, we have another winning trade right here in GBP, JPY. Another winning trade right here. No, this trade hasn't won yet. I'm sorry. That trade is still open, but we had a winning trade right here before it from back on the 10th at 8:45 a.m. That trade won. We would have gotten out of that. And then we've got another signal right here to go in the other way, right? So the first one we're going down and the second one we're going up. Okay. So you're just taking these trades on the 15-minute chart as they come up. GU. There's a winning trade right there in GU. The indicator is still showing up there. NZD CAD. Again, right here, we had a winning trade. We're going to have to set this trade up here as well after we get off of here. Let's just quickly set this up. This will be a short position. Again, we get in at the close of that candle, right? We put the stop loss up here at the volatility band, the outside edge of that volatility band, and then we need to get a 1 to 2 profit on that trade. So we'll see what happens there. NZD Chef, here's another winning trade. We had a winning trade right here, went off a buy, went off on the 10th at 7:30 a.m. And then we got the sell go off here on the 11th at 3:30 in the morning. Both winning trades. One was a buy, one was a sell. 16 wins, 4 losses right now, guys. Just going through every pair and every trade. Right? Right here, the last signal that came out was on October 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, and that was a winning trade. NZD USC, USD. Let's see what we got. We got a trade set up right here that hasn't completed yet. Just a couple more pairs, the 3 USD pairs here. USD CAD. Right here, the signal went off. We're winning that. We would be winning that trade right there. And then back here, we had the trade alert go off back here on the 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And that was a winning trade, right? So that gives us actually 23 wins and 4 losses at this point. USD Chef. The last trade was back here all the way back here, right? Took a little while, but this one went off on October 6th, 10:15 a.m. And then looks like right here, you almost get out. And if not right there, you get your take profit right there. And then USD JPY, we have a trade right here that just won, right? So that trade just went off on at 7:45 a.m. today. And that is now a winning trade as it hits our take profit. And right here, this trade went off. And then when the new signal goes off here, you would have gotten out of here probably at a loss. Looks like it's about break even. We'll count that as a loss. So I went through all the charts there, guys, and I went through all the trades. Again, let's just get back up here to the top. The criteria that we used here was simply this. We waited for the macro trend indicator to come out. That's this indicator right here. Okay, again, it doesn't repaint, but there's only one of these on a chart at any time. So what happens is once that candle closes, if the indicator's there, it stays there. But then once a new indicator comes out, this one disappears. That's what happened here. We had one here and we had one back here. That's why I placed the arrows on the chart here to remind me of where they were at. Because once the new one came out here at 5:30 p.m. today, this old one right here disappeared. That's what happens. That's the way it works. Okay. So if you want to track these, you have to put an arrow above them or below them like I've done here so that you know where they're at. So wait for that indicator to appear on 15-minute time frame. We get in the close of that candle or the open of the very next candle. Again, there's no need to wait for a pullback. I know they teach, they're teaching this. The educators are teaching to wait for a pullback and then wait for a trend line break of structure. Okay. For this test, I'm not doing that. I'm just getting in right after that indicator goes off because I've noticed on every chart that price moves in that direction after the indicator goes off. Okay, there's no need to wait for a pullback. That's what we're testing here. Okay, so don't start taking live trades. if you're in the community with me, don't start taking live trades yet. We want to test this for the rest of the month to see what we actually get. Okay. Okay, we're going to use that volatility-based stop at the furthest edge of the Bollinger Band, and we're going to shoot for a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio trade. Again, no multi-time frame or smart money analysis needed. You could start trading on demo with this strategy in 7 days or less, even if you're brand new to Forex trading. Even if you're brand new to Forex trading. You know, you could use this scanner exactly how they teach, the educators teach you, and you could get on their live sessions. They do 14 live sessions a week. You can get on all 14 live sessions, or you can watch the recordings of them. They're all recorded, and you can actually start taking trades on a demo account if you're new, or a live account if you're experienced, right? In as little as 7 days or less. Or you can use the strategy the way I'm showing you here. It's up to you. But the thing is, you don't need to watch hours and hours of videos to learn smart money, to learn how to trade smart money, how to identify liquidity blocks, order blocks, how to find the liquidity, how to set up the point of interest, how to, drop down to the 15-minute chart or the 5-minute chart to take a trade using the lower time frame flip entry model or whatever entry model you're going to use. You just use this impulse scanner. Okay, so we went through the trades today, right? We got 25 wins and 5 losses. So out of 30 trades, 25 of those trades won. Okay. So let me just see if I can pull up my calculator here. 25 divided by 30. That's an 83.3% win ratio. Okay. Now using our strategy, right, where all trades are a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, if you win just 33% of your trades, you break even, right? You only need to win about 38% to make money. I just showed you an 83% win rate here today. So again, guys, we're going to go over this every night, Monday through Friday here live in the group for the rest of this month. And we're going to calculate these totals. Okay. And I'm going to keep a spreadsheet with total wins, total losses. And then I'm going to put a link to the video here that I just did, because I can't record every single trade. There's just too many of them, right? It would take me all day long because I just showed you 30 trades setups with this scanner. So I'm going to put 25 wins, 5 losses in the spreadsheet, and then I'll put the link to this video so people could watch it. Okay, if you're ready to get started, get in touch with me so you can get those 4 bonuses, and I'll see you on here tomorrow.